Service Dog Training Timeline for Self-Trained Service Dogs, presented by Donna Hill, ServiceDogTrainingInstitute.online. Let's start with a definition. Self-trained equals owner-trained. This does not mean going it alone. Self-training is a combination of taking in-person or online classes, group or private sessions with the trainer in person or by web consults, and also videotaping yourself. You may hire an experienced trainer to work with you or your dog over bumps in the process. I recommend day training rather than board and train for a number of reasons that I will cover in another video. The basis of all assistance dogs is the same. You need to start with a dog with appropriate temperament and health to be comfortable and confident working in public places. The dog needs to learn specific behaviors and skills to function in society and to passively pay attention to his surroundings while also attending to the needs of his handler. This is not an easy job. Our timeline will help guide you to maintain reasonable expectations as you get your dog to the point of a fully functioning service dog and beyond. There are 7 stages of life and training that we need to think about. The process is very much like a story of life. Planning, before you get your dog, no matter the age. Puppy, the fun part. Adolescence, the often challenging part. Adult, settling into life and the job. You'll notice that the 3rd and 4th are longer bumps. That's because it's a long transition between the stages, not an abrupt change. Maintenance, keep those skills sharp. Extra tasks as your needs change. Retirement, an end to work, but a beginning of play. We need to remember that your dog is a lifelong learner. Your relationship changes over time, just like your medical needs. Your dog's needs change too. Where you enter the process depends on the age of your dog. Some people start with a pup, others with an adolescent dog, still others with an adult. No matter where you start, you will need to make sure to fix any missing parts of the previous stages before you move on. All social, emotional, cognitive, and behavioral needs need to be met first. If you're starting with a puppy, make sure the breeder has done a good start preparing your pup. If you have your own, a rehomed or a rescued adolescent, then you need to make up for any social, emotional, cognitive, or behavioral shortfalls he did not receive before. Identify any missing parts by having the dog evaluated by a professional trainer who works with service dogs. The same if you have or get an adult dog. Be honest about shortfalls in adult dogs. It can take longer to fix established behavior problems if the dog has practiced them for a long time. Let's start by looking at the planning stage. Assess your needs and weigh your options. Is a service dog the best option? Or are there other ways to mitigate your disability that are more cost-effective, less energy-intensive, less disruptive to your life, etc.? If you decide to go with a service dog, then set up your support system. It takes a community to raise and train a service dog. Get your finances in order. Set aside money or do some fundraising as needed. Select the right dog for you, your family, environment, and activity level. It's important to get the right match to prevent heartache. See the link in the video description for free blog posts on the above topics. Prepare your home for the dog: food, water, sleeping arrangement, toys, and confinement. Get health insurance for your dog. If you rent, liability insurance for a dog may be needed. Prepare humans and animal family members for the addition. Set expectations and get into new habits before the dog arrives. Collect basic training equipment. Identify locations and make contacts in the community for access to training locations once the dog is house trained. Plan for transportation to these locations. Next up is puppy stage. The key focus for the first 8 weeks at home, up to 12 to 16 weeks, when the sensitive period of socialization closes, is to socialize your pup. He needs to be comfortable at home, in the yard, in the neighborhood, and where he will be working as an adult. This period is very short in the span of a dog's life, but is an important period. Short exposures are better than longer exposures. It is important that this is done at the pup's pace and intensity. Doing too much can flood a puppy and create fear. Doing too little can sensitize the pup, and this will show up in adolescence once you start taking him into public places more often. It takes much longer to desensitize and counter-condition later than it does to socialize him in small bits when he's still a puppy inside the sensitive window. Our service puppy class provides you with the background you need to start your puppy out right. House training, bite inhibition, and sleeping to socialization, enrichment, and starting to teach some simple behaviors. If this video has been helpful so far, please hit the like button. Adolescence is the time period between puberty and adulthood. A puppy grows a big body, and people expect a lot from what appears to be an adult dog. Inside, he's very much a puppy trying to figure out how to live in our human world. His body might be big, but his brain, emotions, and coordination have not yet caught up. That comes with time. So during this period, we must be patient and teach him things that are developmentally appropriate for where he is currently at. Impulse control may be at a low ebb during this time, and what looks like fear periods may appear. In reality, these are more likely the results of missed socialization or overexposure when the pup was younger. They might also be when he's put into situations he's not yet mature enough to handle. We continue to gradually expand the dog's exposure to other locations. During this period, the dog must be taught how to learn, that it's enjoyable, and pick up new behaviors and concepts he will use later in his working career. This is not just blind obedience. He will learn how to self-regulate, such as being calm in new exciting locations, and how to generalize behaviors to new locations. He also learns where his body is in space and how to consciously move different parts. Whoopee. Potty is put on cue. Desensitization helps with teaching the dog to stay calm in exciting situations and near triggers. Behavior modification is used to change unwanted behaviors that appear. Settle and loose leash walking are key behaviors to focus on during this time. Check out our Foundation, Concepts, Settle and Loose Leash classes for detailed guidance. Over this period, the length of training sessions and work is gradually increased to match what the dog will be doing in adulthood. Near the end of this period, training in public places intensifies, and the dog is taught the starting behaviors needed for tasks. He will not yet do the actual tasks until he's at least 18 months old. This is especially important for mobility, psychiatric, PTSD and anxiety, and diabetic dogs. At this stage, a dog is just approaching physical, emotional, and social maturity, depending on the breed. We don't want to ask an immature dog to be responsible for the life of a person. That's like asking a 12-year-old human to be responsible for an adult. 4. Adult dogs. Once the dog has reached maturity, he's ready to start work in earnest. Tasks will be routinely practiced in public. His handler will reduce verbal and hand cues to get many behaviors as defaults. Food reinforcers will be mostly faded out. Preparing for the public access test is a good way to ensure the team has the ability to work together in public. Whether or not you choose to actually take the test and get certified may be up to you. Check your provincial and national laws. In regions where it's an option, I recommend handlers who don't like conflict to take the test, as the legal system will be behind you if you are ever denied access with your dog. It proves you have done your due diligence to ensure your team meets the minimum standard by being tested by an independent third party. For those who choose not to certify, do the test and get a helper to follow you around and film it. That way, documentation exists that your team meets the standards if you're ever challenged in court. 5. Maintenance. Ongoing maintenance is needed for a dog to keep his skills sharp. This is especially important if the dog rarely needs to perform some tasks. Refresher training should continue periodically. At first, it will need to be every 2 weeks, once a month, then every other month, then every 3 or 6 months. This will help to put behaviors and tasks into long-term memory. Teams should refresh the public access test every year, even if they won't be retaking the test. The handler's health condition needs to be assessed to determine the need for each task. Make sure the dog has an annual veterinary checkup and stays current with vaccination and other health treatments. Over time, you may find that you need to teach your dog more tasks than you had planned. Keeping your dog in the habit of learning new things increases quality of life once work becomes routine. The interest in learning new behaviors also creates a lifelong learner that will be eager to help you at any stage of life. As you can see from this timeline, while tasking is a very important part of the job, it's actually a very small part of the process of becoming a service dog. Preparing him to be a functional member of the community and being able to work in public is far harder and takes longer. If your dog isn't suitable to work in public, he can still task for you at home. And lastly, retirement. When the dog starts slowing down, not showing interest in going to work, or has a medical issue that impacts his ability, that is the time to start assessing if it's time to wind things down for him. This may occur at any age, so keep an eye open for signs at all times. Injury, trauma, or health conditions may initiate the need to retire him younger than you planned. Unfortunately, this is one of the challenges of having a service dog. Get an outside opinion from someone in the industry. Handlers are often too close to the dog and may not see the little signs that an outsider can see. Planning for the next dog should start while your current dog is still actively working and has at least 2 years of work left. That will allow your current dog to be a role model for your new dog. And also gradually phase out his work while the new dog's work is phased in. Of course, every dog is different, and some dogs are happy to retire all at once, while others want to keep working, even if you don't think he's able to. In that case, plan to have a retirement job to keep him happy. And that brings us to the end of the training timeline. We hope that this has been useful to you. Let us know in the comments below what other questions you have about the process, and consider subscribing to our channel to receive more free information for your team. That will help us to help other people too. Please reach out to us or other service dog professionals to help anywhere in the process. We can become part of your support team to lighten the load.